Hello and welcome back to Damn It What You Tech. My name is Chris and today we are stepping back into 1983, the year the home console industry didn't just slow down, it collapsed. And since we are talking about a crash, I'm putting the whole episode in black and white. It gives City Skylines 2 this old document feeling, like you are watching history unfold from the above. Let's talk about what really happened. If you ask the internet what caused the crash, you will hear the same story over and over. E.T. was so bad it killed the video game industry. It's a funny meme, but it's not the truth. The real problem was oversaturation. By 1982, the market was stuffed with too many consoles, too many publishers, too many low-effort games, and absolutely no quality control. Retailers were drowning in unsorted cartridges. The shelves looked like a landfill, and the industry was about to fall. When stores realized they couldn't sell the stuff, they panicked. The games that launched for $40 were suddenly $5. Parents saw that and thought, why buy anything for full price? They'll be in the bargain bin next week. The trust evaporated, the sales collapsed, the bottom fell out of the home console market almost overnight. Here's the twist. Gaming didn't die in 1983. When people hear about the video game crash, they assume everything collapsed. Arcades, computers, the whole industry. But in reality, it was only the home video game console that crashed. Gaming itself didn't disappear, it just moved. While the consoles were falling apart, the home computers were booming. The Commodore 64, the Apple II, the Atari 8-bit line, and the TI-99/4A. These machines were marketed as education, which made parents feel better about buying them. And they played great games. So the crash wasn't a video game crash, it was a home console crash, and everything else kept it going. In the arcades, they didn't crash at all. In 1983, gave us Dragon's Lair, Star Wars, and Punch-Out! People were still lining up with quarters in hands. So again, gaming didn't die, just one part of the ecosystem did. When Nintendo bought the Famicom, the NES to America, retailers didn't trust video games anymore. They thought the whole category was toxic. So Nintendo rebranded the entire idea. They called it an entertainment system. They bundled it with ROB, the robot, and they introduced the seal of quality. And they limited how many games publishers could release. Nintendo rebuilt the foundation of the home console market, but they didn't rebuild it alone. Nintendo revived the market, but the industry didn't truly stabilize until Sega ended the fight. These two companies didn't just compete, they created the balance the industry needed to survive long term. Nintendo's role of rebuilding the trust. Nintendo's first job wasn't to innovate, it was to restore faith. Retailers didn't trust video games anymore. Fans didn't trust them either. Developers weren't sure consoles even had a future. Nintendo rebuilt the foundation by focusing on quality control. The pursuit of quality was a promise. Strict licensing, no more shovelware flooding the market. Brand safety, polishing, family-friendly, reliable. A control ecosystem, fewer games, better and better games. Nintendo's approach was careful and methodically. They weren't trying to push boundaries, they were just trying to prevent another collapse. And it worked. By the late 80s, the NES had revived the home console market, but a revived market isn't the same as a healthy one. Sega's role was reigniting innovation. Sega did not want to rebuild the past, they wanted to build the future. When Nintendo was cautious, Sega was bold. When Nintendo was family-friendly, Sega was rebellious. When Nintendo played it safe, Sega took risks. The Genesis wasn't just a new console, it was a statement. Sega pushed the industry forward with the 16-bit hardware that felt like an arcade machine at home. Fast and fluid gameplay Nintendo couldn't match at the time. Sonic the Hedgehog, a mascot built on for speed and agility. Sports games that became the system sells. Marketing aimed to teens, not kids. A willingness to experiment from add-ons to early online services. Sega expanded the audience. Nintendo wasn't reaching. They made games feel cool, fast, and modern. And most important, they forced Nintendo to elevate. Why both were necessary. If Nintendo had been alone, the industry might have stagnated. If Sega had been alone, the industry might have fractured again. But together, Nintendo provided stabilization. Sega provided motivation. Nintendo rebuilt the foundation. Sega pushed the boundaries. Their rivalry created the balance the industry needed. Quality and innovation, safety and risk, tradition and evaluation. That balance is exactly that prevented another crash. So that is the real story of the 1983 console crash. Not one bad game, not one bad company, but an entire market collapsing under its own weight, and two companies rebuilding it in very different ways. If you like these black and whites retro deep dives, stick around. This is Denver Retro Tech signing off. See you next time.